Hello there, young explorers. Welcome to today's Explainer. Have you ever looked up at a massive, towering tree and wondered exactly how it got to be so giant? Well, you are definitely in the right place, because today we're going to learn exactly how that happens. Okay, let's dive right into this amazing adventure of a tiny seed. To really understand this journey, I want you to play along with me for just a second. Right now, wherever you are, curl up your body as tight as you can into a little ball. Tuck your arms and legs right in. Now, I want you to imagine you're a little seed. You're resting quietly, buried safely underground in the dark, warm dirt. So, what do you think happens while you're sleeping down there in the dark? You might look like you aren't doing much of anything at all, but there's actually an incredible secret hiding inside you, just waiting for the perfect moment to wake up.
And this whole idea brilliantly illustrates exactly what a seed is. It's basically a small package holding everything it needs to begin its journey. You see, a seed isn't just a speck of dirt or a tiny rock. Inside its tough shell is a tiny baby plant, a little bit of food to help it survive, and a special set of instructions that tells it exactly how to grow. That tough shell, it keeps everything perfectly safe while the seed is resting and taking a long nap in the soil. It just waits quietly in the dirt until all the conditions are absolutely perfect for it to start growing.
But of course, our little seed can't sleep forever, right? To finally wake up, it needs 3 special, magical ingredients from its environment to get started. First up, it needs water. Water gently wakes it up and softens that tough outer shell. Second, it needs sunlight to give it warm, happy energy. And third, it needs good, healthy soil to provide all the important nutrients and building materials. When our seed gets this perfect mix of water, sunlight, and soil, it knows it's finally time to spring into action and begin to grow.
Now, what's really interesting about this part of the journey is the seed's built-in GPS. Let's pretend to be seeds again. You're all curled up tight. Suddenly, you feel the warm water and the cozy soil. After pushing through the dirt, the seed knows exactly where to go. Step 1, your shell breaks open. Step 2, a tiny root pushes out and goes straight downward to hold you in place and drink up water. And step 3, a tiny stem starts to reach upward. Go ahead and uncurl your body and reach your arms way up high. How does the seed know which way is up when it's buried in the dark? Well, it can actually feel gravity, so it always sends its roots down and its little stem shooting straight up toward the sky. After pushing and pushing through all that dark dirt, a super exciting moment happens. The tiny sprout finally breaks through the surface of the soil. It can actually feel the warm rays of the sun for the very first time. It's like it's saying, "Hello, sunlight," and stretches out. Then something just beautiful happens. The little stem unfurls its very first tiny green leaves, opening them up wide toward the bright blue sky to catch as much light as possible.
Now, you might be wondering, why are those leaves so absolutely crucial? Well, it's because of a giant, amazing word, photosynthesis. Try saying it with me. Photosynthesis. This is how those tiny green leaves catch the sunlight to create their very own food. It's kind of like magic. The little plant uses light energy from the sun to make food right inside its leaves. And this special food gives the plant all the energy it needs to grow taller and taller every single day. As the days, months, and years go by, our little sprout faces a lot of challenges. I want you to stand up nice and tall right now. Pretend you're a young tree. You have to be strong. Imagine a really strong wind blowing against you, but you stay standing. Now imagine heavy winter snow falling on your shoulders. Brr, it's freezing cold, but you stay strong. By surviving all this weather, your stem gets thicker and stronger. Slowly, over many years, that skinny little green stem turns into a thick, mighty trunk covered in tough, protective bark, and you grow wide, beautiful branches. Now, as trees grow, some do absolutely mind-blowing things. Take bamboo, for instance, which is a type of giant grass that grows into a tall forest. It can shoot up into the sky by up to 3 feet in just a single day. Literally 3 feet. Imagine waking up and finding out you grew 3 whole feet while you were sleeping. It's just an amazing way that some plants quickly reach up to find the sunlight. While bamboo grows incredibly fast, other trees grow in special ways that help them survive tough environments. Over in Africa, there's a magnificent giant called the baobab tree. To survive when the weather is very hot and incredibly dry, the baobab tree can store up to 32,000 gallons of water right inside its massive, swollen trunk. That's just an awe-inspiring amount of water. By holding all of that inside itself, the tree can stay healthy and hydrated even when it doesn't rain for a very long time.
We just talked about how trees grow big and strong over time, but some trees live for an incredibly long time. In California, there are special bristlecone pine trees that can live for over 4,000 years in nature. Just think about that for a second. 4,000 years. These trees have been standing tall through wind and weather for thousands of years. They grow super slowly in harsh freezing conditions, and honestly, taking their time is exactly what helps them live so incredibly long.
And all that growing serves a really beautiful purpose. When our tiny seed finally becomes a fully grown, towering tree giant, it doesn't just stand there doing nothing. No way. It provides a safe, cozy home for birds to build their nests and for tiny insects and other animals to live in. And even better, while it stands there catching sunlight in its millions of leaves, it releases fresh, clean oxygen out into the air. That is the very air you and I breathe to stay alive.
And eventually, this beautiful story comes full circle. Our giant, towering tree, which has braved the winters, housed the birds, and breathed out fresh air for decades, begins to make its very own brand new, tiny seeds. It packages up tiny baby plants, a little bit of food, and a set of instructions, and wraps them all up in a tough little shell. Then it drops them gently down to the soil below, or lets the wind carry them far, far away to start their very own incredible journeys. So, the crucial point here is that big things start small. The oldest and most giant trees in the entire world all began as a tiny little package. The next time you see a tiny seed resting in the dirt, I want you to look closely at it and wonder, when this new seed falls into the soil, wakes up, and starts to stretch toward the sun, what amazing giant tree will it become? Thank you so much for exploring the adventure of the tiny seed with me today on this explainer. Stay curious, keep growing, and I'll see you next time.